Christina, what needs fixing, Christina?
My back.
Right,
My
okay.
spine.
Yeah. And how long's it been like that for?
What, a few months?
Right, okay. And where do you get most pain?
The left side.
The left side?
Yeah, that is the left.
Right.
No, the left.
Yeah, cool. Right, all I need you to do is come and stand here. That's it. Yeah, so if you just stand here.
Oh, I stand behind.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right, because that's it. So you just stand facing, that's all right. Just stand facing that way, that's it. Sometimes I work on backs with the person sat. Sometimes, most commonly, they need to stand. It's rare I work on a back with the person laying down because then you can't see what gravity is doing, and it surprises me that so many people that treat backs have you lay down because your back's behaving in a whole different way when you're laying face down. Now the surgeon that's working with you, Christina, is saying that over your lifetime you find it quite hard to just relax, to just really relax and do nothing now. Yeah? Yeah. All right, and so she's got a tendency to keep herself going, even if you're in pain, aren't you? All right. And in a way with backs, moving a back is the right thing. We used to think, I mean, when I was growing up, if Grandad had a bad back, they'd lay him on a board. Remember when they used to do that? And then they've realised that's the worst thing in the world to do, because you need usually with a back to keep moving. I will say though that different back conditions need different treatment, and don't take that general keep the back moving as medical advice. Ask your own doctor based on what's wrong with your back. Okay. Now what they're doing here is they're working from the shoulders down, and we all hold on to energy. You do it all the time. You've been conditioned to do it because you saw mum and dad do it, you saw your dad do it, you saw grandparents, aunts and uncles do it. Everybody's been doing it. And that energy gets stored in our bodies on a cellular level. Now, as much as most of the hip is lower, most of the pain is lower down in the left hip, they've got to work up here as well. You can't just work on one bit of the spine and expect the whole thing to be well. You've got to work on the whole spine. What these fingers are doing is they're going actually into the spinal column, and they're gently releasing whatever's in there. God bless. Now the sound makes the cells go vibrate, and as the cells vibrate, they give up what they've been holding on to. Now on the one hand I could say, who in the right mind would hold on to pain? We don't knowingly hold on to pain because you'd want to let it go, yeah? But what we are holding on to is perspectives or points of view, especially when we think we are right and the other person's wrong, yeah? And over a period of time, if those perspectives are not aligned with who we are at a level, they will cause us pain in our bodies. Now, just have a walk around a little bit and see how that feels. A little bit better, cool. I've only worked down to about there so far, so again turn that way, yeah. He's starting me at the top. So the surgeon that's working now is called Dr. Oswaldo Cruz, and he specialises in backs. Whenever I'm working on a back, it will usually be him. So these spirit surgeons have been in spirit world about 200 years, and that's all they do is they just work. They don't sleep, they don't eat, they don't have families. They just come through people like me to help healers. Okay. Now, while I'm doing that, he's just pulled out a thread of something from about there, back of the solar plexus. That sound doesn't sound right, so that's the sound that's hitting something in the body that isn't right. sure did, you sure did. And now we're getting into the part where all the pain is. All right, God bless. God bless. The surgeons don't try and fix you. That would be ego. All they do is they bring their awareness, their consciousness into the area of pain. Now, we can all learn something from that. If there's a problem in your life, whether it's an issue with a friend, whether it's a financial problem, work problem, one of the things that we tend to do is we go over it again and again in our minds, and that really is like tangling up knitting wool. What the best thing you can do is just bring your awareness to it and let it go. Yeah? And then if you're inspired to act, pick up a phone, say something, you do. But if you're not, you just let it go. All right? It's the ego that wants to constantly pick at things, but in picking at it, we pull that knot tighter. The best thing is to say, all right, that's an issue. I want that resolved, please. And then let it go. Don't think you've got to fix it, you haven't. The more you try and fix a situation, the worse it'll get. Any of you in relationships will know this. The more you try and fix a relationship that's going, ugh, it gets worse and worse. You've got to be able to stand back and say, okay, let it, talk to the higher power and say, okay, fix this for me. And then act on whatever guidance you receive. Now, any sensation for you, what can you feel happening?
Oh, round here, because
Yeah.
it's the spine that's here,
Yeah,
and the pain is a little easier here.
yeah, cool. Right, another walk around. Now the reason the surgeon, the reason the surgeon gets you to walk around is I don't manipulate. I've no training in any kind of manipulation, so if anything went wrong, you could sue me. So I don't manipulate. But as you move around, every vertebra's moving. Right? Feeling a bit easier? Excellent. Cool. Right, now we're into the nitty-gritty part. And for some reason, he's going up under my armpit and making my arm and my armpit painful. I don't know why that is.
Well, I did, where are you? I did have an operation on my shoulder, and it's still a bit, it still hurts a bit, but it's there, you know, and it's knotty, and it's never going to go anyway, because you took a bone
Let
away.
that thought go. Just let that thought go. And her hearing must have improved, because she could hear me quite clearly that time. So we might be working on hearing as well.
Oh yeah, I wish you could.
The thing to remember is that these bodies are an amazing piece of kit. If you eat an apple, that apple goes through your digestive system and it becomes eye, tongue, liver, kidneys. Isn't that amazing? You know, we are a walking miracle.
Well,
Yeah. Surgeon's saying you will be when he's finished with you. Right, another walk around, see how that feels. Right, let's get you sitting down, standing up, see how it all feels.
well,
That's a lot better.
make sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that this morning.
No, that's good. How's it feeling in there?
It's mostly around here,
Yeah,
and it's a lot better.
a lot better right now. They've not quite finished with you, so just face that way again.
This one.
Because what I've got to do is work sideways, so I'm just going to do that now. Cool. So the surgeons never try and fix. All that happens is their higher frequency energy comes into your space. Your consciousness thinks, oh, that feels nice, I'll have some of that. And as your consciousness absorbs the energy that they're sending, you let go of the old stuff. Right, here we go. This is like, it's almost like bruising. That's how it feels. It's muscular. away 2-3 bits of energy, just that they're not required, not required. Right, walk around again, see how that feels. How's it feeling?
I'll run, shall I?
You'll run. No, I'm only teasing. There we go.
Do I need to sit?
No, just to check, just to check, sitting down and standing up, how it feels. Very good.
Yeah, I couldn't do that earlier.
No, awesome.
No.
Right, brilliant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.